Hello crafters, welcome to today's video and another design team video for mememadeit.com. Today we're going to be making a 5x5 card using one of Meme's scripture stamp sets, and that's Bask in the Sun. It has 10 sentiments and 3 sun rising images. We're also going to be, need VersaFine ink, or whichever black ink you choose, some various distress inks. Now I have Faded Jeans, Broken China, Wild Honey, Squeezed Lemonade, and a what is this one now? Wild Violet. You're also going to need a piece of paper with a circle die cut in it. Size is entirely up to you, but obviously remember you're using a 5x5 card. And I'm going to be using one of the edge dies that are sold in my store and in my stash. I'm going to need a bit of washi tape, but we'll get to that in the later on. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have a piece of cardstock here. This is 5 inches by 10 inches. So I'm going to score it at both ends at 2.5 inches. Now my cardstock is 300 GSM, so it's quite thick. So I use the smaller end of my wand here, my embossing tool. Okay, so then this is going to be a gatefold card, but a gatefold card with a difference. So it ends up like that. So don't need this anymore. You will need a die cut machine, a cuttle bug, or whatever one you decide that you use. So I'm just going to bring mine over. Okay. Now putting the first end of my card flap and using my die, I'm going to attach that onto the end there. Am I in shot? Just want to make sure that I'm in shot, crafters. I think worse than seeing a video and then you can't see what's going on. I know I'm guilty of that sometimes. Now using my washi tape, I'm going to just secure that down so that it doesn't move. Put my B plate, so that's an A, B and C plate sandwich, and run that through my cuttle bug. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So just remove the washi tape carefully. I did put it on my clothes, so just to reduce the stickiness, because obviously I don't want it to, you know, rip the paper. So this also has a stitch edge, but that edge I'm not keeping. And then turn it around, and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay crafters, now using a scrap piece of paper, I'm going to now decorate these flaps to resemble clouds. Now I'm going to be using 2 different blues, and that's the Faded Jeans. And I'm just using my Tim Holtz ink blending tool, which you can also get from mememadeit.com. So I'm working on the outer edge first, then I'm folding the card in to work on the edge which is folded, the folded edge. Do the same on the other side. I'm going to swap over for a slightly lighter blue, and that is Broken China. And it's just to give the hint that these are clouds. As you can see, I'm leaving white in the center because obviously clouds are a mixture of all different colors. Right, let me just wipe my hands, crafters, because I don't want to get the blue ink anywhere else. Okay, now it comes to inside the card. Now using your circle die cut, you need to gauge where you want your sun to be, because we're going to create a sun now. So I want it about there. And again, I'm going to use some washi tape just to secure this in place. And this is the same bit I've been using, so it's looking a bit manky now. Okay, and I'm going to be using wild honey first. Working from the outside. So what I tend to do is go about half an inch from the outside and then work my way in. Obviously at some parts of this particular piece of paper I can't do that, but you just want to blend the colours. Okay, and then I'm going to use the squeezed lemonade. I love this yellow, so vibrant and lush. And then just for a pop of colour, I'm going to use some of the wild violet, because I've seen sort of purples in the sun. But honestly, you can just let your imagination run wild when it comes to the colours that you add. Just going to go back and add a bit of yellow on top of that, just so it's not too strong. Okay, so that's that done. Let's remove that. And don't throw away that that die piece, that circle. I've used that on a few cards over the past few months. So now I'm going to use a stamp set, and I'm going to use Bask in the Sun, and I'm going to use VersaFine. Just put that at the top there. So Bask in the Sun. And then I'm going to also use the sentiment that reads, and it's the one from the top right hand corner here, and I'll read it out to you in a second. So it's from the rising, the sun, onto the going down of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised. And that's from this gorgeous stamp set of Maymays. So just leaving it on there to linger. I pressed too hard at the bottom there, as you can see. So I put too much pressure on the bottom there. It's smudged a bit. So I'm just going to let that dry. And then we'll move on to the next part of the card, because the VersaFine does take a bit to dry. Otherwise it will smudge. While that's drying, using the bits that were cut off, I am going to attempt... Oh, let me just blow that with a heat tool. Now you don't have to use a heat tool, but just for video purposes and speed, I just wanted to speed up a bit. So going back to my blues, I'm going to attempt to do some clouds just on the inside here as well. Oh yeah, look, I've smudged it. You really need to give it time to dry before you do all this type of thing. I'm just too impatient sometimes. Okay, so that looks like that. And then using a white gel pen, I am going to put some stitch lines in. If I can find my gel pen. I'm going to put some stitch lines just to give the front of this card some more definition and interest. And as I've got the card turned over, using my chosen image from Maymay's, another one of Maymay's new stamp sets, and that's the Handmade By. Now I like this one here, so I am going to stamp the back of my cards. And it's really good to get in the habit of stamping the back of your cards, because when you send them out, God, I've got the dropsies today, crafters. In my sample card I smudged it, in my one I'm bringing it to you on video I've smudged it. I don't know, one of those days I'm afraid. So I'm just going to get back on, and then you just Handcrafted by Gareth. And that was Create at Home with G. And this is February 2018. It's really nice to get in the habit of doing that. Now, of course, you could add sentiments on the inside. You could stamp the smaller images, the Happy New You, Enjoy the Sun, Keep on Smiling. You could stamp them on the outside. I think this is just a lovely card to send to someone who maybe isn't doing so well, just to brighten their day, literally. But you could definitely stamp some of these smaller sentiments on the outside. Just let your imagination run wild and do what is pleasing to you. So there we go. I'll take some photos of it, and what I'll probably do is I'll do another one so it's not smudged, so the picture you'll see will have the one where it's not smudged. But thank you very much for joining me today, crafters. I really hope that you recreate this. If you do, please head over to Create at Home with G to share it, and also at memomadeit.com. No, Memo Made It and So Did I on Facebook. But you can bring the sun lower down so it looks like it's coming just above the clouds. There's so many different ways that you can recreate this card. I really hope you do recreate it. I'd love to see what you do. But thank you very much for joining me, crafters, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.